Bias in language models can occur due to the presence of biased language, stereotypes, or prejudices in the training data. Prompt debiasing is the process of identifying and addressing these sources of bias in the prompts used to train the model. It is crucial to understand the importance of prompt debiasing to ensure that the AI language model generates fair and equitable responses. To reduce bias in the prompts used to train ChatGPT, a balanced and diverse training dataset can be created. This approach can help reduce the impact of bias in the training data, resulting in more equitable and fair responses from the language model. By including a variety of perspectives and experiences, the training dataset becomes more representative of the real world. This promotes inclusivity and helps to prevent harmful stereotypes from being reinforced in the model. It's important to note that creating a diverse dataset is not a one-time task, but rather an ongoing process that requires regular review and monitoring to ensure that it remains balanced and representative. When modifying prompts to reduce bias, it is essential to be mindful of the language used. Removing biased language or replacing it with neutral or inclusive language is one way to do this. For instance, if the prompt is asking for jobs that are typically associated with a particular gender, it is important to reframe the prompt to be more inclusive. Another approach involves adjusting the context or framing of the prompt to reduce the impact of biases. This can lead to more equitable responses generated by the language model. As previously mentioned, we should keep in mind that prompt debiasing is an ongoing process, and regular monitoring and review of prompts are necessary to ensure that the language model remains balanced and unbiased. Consider a prompt that asks, "What are some typical jobs for women?" This prompt may reinforce gender stereotypes and limit the potential responses generated by the language model. To debias this prompt, we could modify it to read, "What are some common jobs for people?" By modifying the original, we can create a more inclusive and less biased prompt. The modified version is more likely to generate a broader range of responses and avoid perpetuating harmful stereotypes. It's important to note that this is just one example of prompt debiasing, and there are many other examples that may require similar modifications to reduce the impact of biases. In summary, prompt debiasing is a crucial aspect of practical prompt engineering when working with AI language models like ChatGPT. It involves identifying and addressing sources of bias in the prompts used to train the model. One approach is to create a balanced and diverse training data set, while another is to modify the prompts used to train the model. Regular monitoring and review of the prompts used to train language models are necessary to ensure that they remain unbiased and equitable. By debiasing prompts, we can promote fairer and more inclusive language generation and ensure that AI language models generate responses that are more accurate and free from harmful stereotypes and prejudices.